Recently, I've been playing a mod called Fallout Long 15, which is basically a free DLC for Fallout New Vegas. And when I say DLC, I mean this mod is comparable to things like Dead Money, Honest Hearts, those sort of DLCs. It's its own world space centered around this town called Baker. There's a main quest, there are loads of side quests, and it's fully voice acted with a lot of NPCs. I mean, I haven't even finished the main quest yet. I think I'm close, I think I've got one more quest to do, but I've still got a few side quests left. So I would estimate this is going to be something that will give you 10 to 15 hours, possibly more. It's definitely at least as long as the official DLCs when it comes to time to complete, and I suspect more unless you skip a lot of the dialogue. This mod has a ton of dialogue actually. I was quite impressed. There's loads and loads of options when it comes to speaking to people. I mean, not only do you get the usual lore dumps from people willing to give you their entire life story, there are also a lot of quests that involve convincing people, investigating stuff, trying to cajole people into, doing A, B, or C. It is actually one of those mods where I'd say fighting is not the priority. There is some combat, and I'm guessing you could probably do a lot of the side quests using violence. I just didn't have to. For the vast majority of the quests, I found ways to either use some of my skills, perhaps repair, that sort of thing, or my abilities in speech, perhaps my reputation with the NCR or with the people of Baker. There were always options. Perhaps you do a job for someone in Baker, perhaps you did something for the NCR back in the main game, and it gives you an option here. And there weren't just options on how to achieve your goals. You did actually have options on how you wanted to end quite a lot of the quests. The quests can end in very different ways that have very real effects, either in the town of Baker or with regards what options you get in other quests. This is almost certainly a mod that is extremely replayable, allowing you to pick different sides, go with different choices in the side quests, and having a very different time each go. The most important thing for me to say though is I thoroughly enjoyed playing this mod, and I highly recommend it to anyone who is a New Vegas fan. Honestly, this mod fits seamlessly into the game. It really does fit the lore. They've leaned into the NCR side of things. Everything feels like it could have been there from the start. The voice acting is great. I just generally had a great time. And I did this with a fairly low-level character. I came straight from Good Springs through Prim and went to the Mojave Outpost, which is where this mod starts, and I think I was level 6. I was a little low when it came to some of the skill checks. It took a little time for me to be able to do some of the options that I wanted to do. If you're a higher level character, obviously you will have a much easier time, but it is possible. I played on normal difficulty, but I wasn't particularly paying attention to having the best gear either, so it's very doable. You don't have to worry about going there and making sure you're level 20 or 30. You can do it early, you can do it late. It works almost certainly both ways. Now, I do have to mention one negative issue that affected me, and that is I got some crashes in a very specific area. The strange thing is, I went to this area at one point and travelled through it back and forth and had no issues, but then I started a quest to get an item from a crashed vertibird there, and all of a sudden, I started to crash in that area. And it's pretty consistent now. If I go back to that area, it will crash. I don't know if that's a problem with the mod or if there's just something unique to me, but it was fairly severe. However, nothing else seems to be in that area, so it looks like I'm okay. I got through it. Hopefully, if it is a problem with the mod, they will get that fixed ASAP. Other than that little area where I got the crashes, I didn't really find any major bugs. I found one or two minor ones. There's a kind of amusing one where I got a room in the local motel, and all of a sudden, someone started joining me in the bed. A woman. She just make of that what you will. I got the feeling this was not supposed to happen, but she just kept wandering in and out of my room and using my bed. It didn't stop me using the bed either, but it did seem to be somewhat of an oversight. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is basically it. I'd like to thank the makers of the mod for giving me early access so that I could try it out. And of course, I would like to thank you guys for listening to me ramble on. Once I have finished the game proper, I may have some more feedback, and I'll post a video with that if you care to listen. If you do, I will see you on that video. Thank you for joining me. See you next time, and until then, remember as always, have fun.
What the hell do you know about expansion?